what's the best way to raise private money?
I think for me, the way I've done it, this may not be the best way, so I'm probably gonna lose this one. But for me, the best way to raise private money is to be impeccable with your word, do good work, let people know around you that you do good work. Because every time I've needed private money, I just made a few phone calls. Here's the situation I'm in. Would you be interested? And it was like a yes. So I didn't do all those other things you're supposed to do, right? Like actively creating content or raising private money. For me, it's just been like, hey, I'm in a situation here. I need some private money. Would you be interested? And it was usually a yes. So for me, it's been just being impeccable with your word, do what's right, let people know what you do, and that's how I've raised private money.
All right. Let's go over to CJ.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to raising private money, people place money and place capital with people they can believe in. Can somebody see your vision? Can somebody see that you are the person as an operator who has the actual ability to execute if they put money with you? My favorite way that I like to raise money is by going to self-directed IRA conferences, talking to people who have control of their finances, people who are actively looking to invest that money somewhere in some sort of industry. We all know that real estate is appealing and sexy to everybody. Like, that's why all these popular shows are out there, zombie house flipping, flip this house, etc. Get in front of these people, have real conversations that have management of their money. They're looking to invest it. Be somebody who, as an operator, can actually return money on an investment, and people will want to do business with you hand over fist.
Nice. All right. Perfectly timed too. Third place last round was RJ Bates. So RJ, take it away.
I appreciate CJ giving out a free promo to the show there. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Listen, I think when it comes to raising private capital, it's important that you are also picking and choosing who you want to do business with. And that's why, for me, it's always come through masterminds. Most masterminds out there, you're around like-minded people. And also for me, it's around other real estate investors, and they are looking for opportunities to place their capital privately, passively, so they can get a return on it. And that's always been the way that we've been able to raise that capital. You get to break bread, sit down, understand it. Hey, is this someone that I want to get in bed with for the next 6 to 12 months, or maybe even longer if it's a bigger project? So that's been the best way for us, is just attending those real estate masterminds.
Okay. And Brewer, you're up.
I think there's two aspects. There's a marketing aspect to raising private money that generates someone's interest in investing with you. And then at the end of the day, regardless of how that person is introduced to you or how you begin the conversation, you better have a great deal or a great business, right? So like, one of the best private money raising activities is to work on your business. I know a lot of times we try and avoid ways to avoid paying our maximum tax bill. You need to have clean financials, right? Like, anybody can see if you're buying properties and creating depreciation, that's an acceptable practice. But you need to have clean books. It's so different than going to a bank. Someone that's lending you $500,000, $1 million, $2 million, $5 million wants to know that you have a consistent, reliable, predictable business. So the marketing aspect, I don't care how you do that. RJ has a great point about masterminds. It's a great place. Most of those people have money and they want to invest it. But at some point, the conversation is going to come down to, will you deliver on your promise? Right. So I think the best way to get the private money is to run a predictable, reliable business.
Okay. The voting is open, and so is the floor.
Why do you only get one buzz? Credit. That should be like 5 buzzes.
Listen,
I was on a roll. He buzzes not when your time's up. He buzzes when your content sucks. That's why you get 12 seconds.
I'll be honest. I know this is a competition, but I think Eric just gave the best answer out of anybody. I agree with everything that he said. And we kind of talk about that. The way we phrase it is having a turnkey franchisable business where there's the systems, the processes, and like you said, predictable results. And I can't disagree with anything that Eric said there.
Well, it's funny.
Like, RJ, how far away do you think you are from being able to step away from your business? Like at 75% level?
I think we're pretty close, because we've identified Patrick as our general manager, and because we're doing the TV show, we have Woodhaven Country Club. It's pretty much mandatory at this point, where we're almost not inside of Titanium Investments anymore.
So to me, it's an example. One, it's at some point what everybody will seek. They're going to seek the freedom from the business that they created the business for, to give them that freedom, right? And a great example of that is the leader and the owner's ability to be able to step away from it. It doesn't mean you run a great business, because some people step away from their business because they're just irresponsible. But it's a good indicator. If I look at someone, I'll say that guy can go away for a week, right? Like CJ was gone for a whole week or something in Punta Cana or Mexico, wherever he was, and his business continued without him. Right. So I think that's a great example, or at least it's an indicator of a solid business, is whether or not you're able to step away.
Yeah, I think another thing too, like RJ said, like the last time I lent private money, and then the most recent private money I borrowed was from a mastermind. So I think that's a great point there as well from RJ.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Yeah, I mean, Eric's spot on with that. I mean, maybe are we all handing Eric around here? Is that what's happening?
No, I was supporting RJ. I don't care about Eric.
To reiterate what happened here,
just checking.
we all agreed that me, Steve, and Eric said something very wise. CJ added zero value to this question.
Yeah, so let me help you out on that. All right. People know to listen to me if you really want to go make some money. Right. So like what Eric is saying and what y'all are saying is all factual. So I'm not going to dispute that. But at the end of the day, you still got to find somebody to go get in front of them and have a conversation about raising capital.
Yeah.
So if a $500 ticket to an IRA event gets you in the door and there's 1,000 people there that all have a self-managed portfolio and they're all looking to work their money somewhere in some type of industry and they all find real estate appealing, I think if you can bat 1,000 times, even if you're RJ Bates, you probably could hit the ball.
Yeah. I think another thing too is I thought one of you guys might have brought this up. So yesterday on the show we had Steve Valentine, and he talks about how he talks to every homeowner. It's like, hey, what are you gonna do with this money? How are you gonna grow it after we close and you got this money? Like, how are you gonna grow it? And I think that's another thing as well that we definitely have not done a good job of.
Yeah, that's a good point, man. Some of my lenders are previous homeowners. And I've always just, if I've met a homeowner, I just talk to them about what we're doing and that we move money for people and give them a return on their investment. We're obviously getting ready to buy their house. They're getting ready to get a lump sum of cash. Is this an opportunity to communicate with them, an investment opportunity that may or may not make sense for them? So that's some game right there from Steve.
Yep.
Okay.
I live in a very inexpensive market. I could say, Mr. Smith, what are you going to do with this $11,400 you got sitting around right now? You ever think about parlaying that?
Well, you're getting ready to move to Florida, man. You gotta wait till you get to Florida.
Turn that into 12.6 like that.
Hey, he can finance your closing costs.
I'm on the parlay bandwagon with you, but that's another conversation, Eric. That's another conversation. We can have that one next week. All right. The voting has closed. It looks like Steve took that round. I thought that was Eric Brewer's round to lose. I'm not gonna lie. I thought he had the best 45 seconds, plus a couple seconds because
it was not 45
I handed
seconds.
that to him, but it's okay. Steve found a way to rig this round, so Steve has taken his second point.
I've got no shame.
How do you feel, man? Back-to-back winner.
Feeling pretty good about myself. Feeling pretty good. Just got to hold off. I think we're building enough margin. We'll see. We'll see. I don't want to be the Falcons. Trying to build enough margin here.
There we go. Okay. All right.
Nice coffee mug.